here. Just wanted to come in and share a little bit of information with you concerning a question that I received recently about bookings. So the question came in and it asked, how long did it take for me to get my first classes booked? And this is definitely a question that a lot of new teachers have. I know that this was definitely a question that I was wondering about when I was waiting for bookings to come in. So let's just share a little bit about that now. So my very first week that I had classes open to be booked was Friday, January 27th. Okay, so this was a Friday, and this was back when I was only teaching Fridays and Saturdays. Well, I only had the time frames open for Fridays and Saturdays. So Friday evenings and Saturday evenings is when I opened up all my bookings, and Friday, January 27th was the very first day that I had classes open to be booked. And that weekend, I had 0 classes. None. Not a one. And then the second week, I had none. Nope. I had nothing. So that second week was into February. And then another week went by and I had 2 classes. Literally like one on a Friday, one on a Saturday. So that's, 3 weeks in is when I first got my first booking. Then week 4, I had 7 classes total. Week 5, I had 6 classes total. Week 6, back down to 3 classes. Week 7, back down to 2 classes. Week 8, 3 classes. And week 9, 2 classes. And mind you, all of those classes I did not teach. A lot of them were no-shows. I had a lot of trial classes that were given to me at that time. So, I might have had 7 booked, but I might have only taught maybe like 4, if that. Or we couldn't teach the class because the student was having IT problems. And so we had, I remember having a bunch of student cancellations because of the student IT problems and the firemen just being like, well, we're just going to cancel it because they can't get it together. So you run into just all sorts of things. So, and it fluctuates. I have not found a steady rhythm, I know without a doubt every week I'm going to have this many classes. I haven't gotten there because the majority of my classes are open on evening schedules. Friday, I'm talking St. Louis time. So Friday nights and Saturday nights here in St. Louis. And then I also open up for Mondays and Tuesday nights, but I don't get booked for those usually. Every now and then I'll get a Monday night class that'll be booked, but that's about it. So I just recently started doing morning classes. So how did that happen? So week 10, I started, I was invited to participate into the substitute program. And so I started doing substitutes on Friday and Saturday nights in between my regular classes. And then I popped over into doing some morning classes. So you had, so week 10, I'm sorry. So week 10 is when I went from only doing Friday nights and Saturday nights to doing Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So week 10, this was towards the beginning of April. I had 3 classes. Week 11, I had 2 classes. Week 12, 3. 13, 3. Week 14, I had 6 classes. Week 15, 4. And then week 16 is when I started the substitute program. And so I was invited to join in. So I did add in some substitute classes in between my regular classes on Friday and Saturday evenings. And then I added in some morning classes that were only strictly just for subbing. So I knew that I was getting up at that time. I knew I was getting up for guaranteed pay. So if somebody didn't show up or they didn't need me, it didn't matter. I would still get my pay, and I didn't feel like that was a bad deal. So week 16, 8 classes total. And week 17, which is this week that we're finishing up now, it is May 25th, 2017. So I've had 11 classes total this week. 11 classes total. And I only lost one due to a teacher IT problem, which I didn't think it was a teacher IT problem, but that's just one of those things that you run into. So there was something going on with the sound system, and they could hear me and I could hear them, but then I also heard a bunch of like echo and just like a bunch of just weird sounds. Like I can't even describe it. Just a bunch of weird sounds, and we just couldn't get it fixed. Like, after doing everything I could do, and all the way down to like restarting my computer and coming back in, I don't know what happened. They counted it as a teacher IT, and that was it. So this week total, I will have had 11 classes, and that includes the class that I will have this evening and the class that I will have tomorrow. So yeah, and then next week, so far, I'm only booked for 7 classes, but I still have some playing around with my schedule to open up for later in the week on that. So, you know, it takes a while. It fluctuates, especially if you're not consistently doing those early hours like that 3 and 4 and 5, and especially that the peak hours, which are like from 6 to 7 to 8, 6 to 7 and 7 to 8 in the morning. I don't know. It hasn't been super consistent, but it has been growing. And so because of my experience with the substitute program and my experience this week with opening up more classes, I was booked every single day this week in the mornings when I got up. So at the very least for one class. Sometimes I had 2 classes, but some of those even got canceled because some of them were trial classes. So, you know, it's making me look into opening up more morning slots, and maybe just not do it every day. Maybe choose a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for mornings, or a Tuesday, Thursday schedule for mornings, while keeping my evening classes open and available as well. So, you know, I feel okay. My pay obviously has increased because I had a lot more classes towards the end of this month. And I don't know that there's a perfect recipe or a perfect equation for you to make sure you're booked every single second. I haven't found that. So even for the times when students don't have school, doesn't necessarily mean they want to be booked for school. So I don't know. Take what you will from it. I just really wanted to share that information. Just keep it open. Play with your schedule. Be consistent in the beginning, and then, you know, branch out as you see fit. You know, add on to your schedule as you see fit, as what fits for you. I don't know, and I think you'll be okay. You know, unless you're just consistent with, you know, only doing those early morning hours, then you will probably get more consistent bookings. But I didn't feel the need to open up a bunch of slots all over the place and see what sticks, or see what stuck to it. So I held true to what I needed. I held true to what I knew I could do, and I found that has worked best for me. It has been rough trying to get up these last 2 weeks. It has definitely been a joint effort between myself and my husband to make sure I am up and focused and ready to go. But I don't know. So that's that. So hopefully that helps you guys out with seeing how schedules they fluctuate, guys. They come and they go. And I don't really know that there's any rhyme or reason to it. So I'll check back in next month after. I do plan on opening up, like I said, more morning slots. and being more consistent with that once I figure out what that will be for me. So in June, I'll be able to see exactly how that looks for an entire month versus just like 2 weeks out of a month. And I'll be able to kind of give you a better read about that. But I don't know. So what's working for you? Have you tried anything yet? Hopefully you got something from this little video, my little 2 cents worth of sharing. If you are just new to VIPKID, then welcome. If you are thinking about joining and you have questions, please feel free to leave them below. Subscribe, watch the other videos. You guys will learn so much, and you should be ready to go by the time you fill out that application. Like, because all of us are sharing so many good tips and so much insider knowledge that it should be very helpful for you in making that decision. So with that, guys, you know how to reach me. And until next time, bye.